Hello, Squatch American. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, who am I? Domestic goddess, chief cook, and doggy mama in the paddy wagon tonight.
Yes, we are coming to you live from Central Eastern Washington with an R.
I hate you. We Okay, let me be clear. We are in Sunnyside, Washington. There is no R in the word Washington, either. George Washington. We never call him George Washington.
Yes, we do.
No, we do not.
I do.
Or, well, you are a hillbilly from the sticks. Anyway, we are in Sunnyside, Washington, which is not too far from where I grew up. In Yakima. It's not Yakima, no matter what you think.
Yakima is the name of the tribe.
But the town is
But the
Yakima.
town is Yakima.
Anyway, and we are here because on Saturday, we are going to be at the first annual Yakima Bigfoot Con. And we are so excited. Renee, you're right. There is when you're a hick.
Yeah. So I guess we're getting raided by the Lockbeard pirates. So, woo!
Blackbeard, if you haven't gotten it already, you will get it shortly. We threw it in the mail a couple days ago.
Yep. So, hi, Tanya and Roy and David.
And Melissa.
And Melissa. We got 24 in chat. All right. Or
nice. Hey, you know what? Our friend John usually has thousands of people in chat. So let's shoot for 100. I want to say thank you to everyone. We are almost up to 2,130 subs. And so I'm believing now, like maybe by the end of the year for 2,500. Be so cool.
Cool.
So anyway.
So we get into our topic tonight.
What is our topic tonight?
Our topic is.
Hey, Dawn.
Hey, Dawn. We're going to be talking about Bigfoot and using tools.
Cut to the home improvement music.
Oh, I should have used that.
Of all the email, people got emails. They would have seen howdy ho neighbor.
Howdy ho neighbor. So we're going to be talking about Bigfoot using tools, and this is something I studied in way back in like Anthropology 101, where they were talking about how humans develop tool usage over the years. So here's my tinfoil hat theory is I think they're tool users, not tool makers.
Is that really a tinfoil hat?
Not really. I think
that's just your theory.
My theory is they're tool users and not tool makers. But so, no, thank you, Patty. Okay, so shall we do that? Let's get into this.
Let's get into this.
All right.
I'm sure you've got a really scintillating and exciting
PowerPoint. I do. Us, no, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that's been sent to us over the years. Like I said, we've been doing this for a lot of years, and we've had our website up for a while. Like, gosh,
what are you talking
about? How long have we had our website up where people's been sending us stuff?
Since 2014.
14.
So that's 8 years.
8 years. Wow. We've got 8 years of stuff sent to us. It was kind of funny because I was going back and looking through this. So one of the first things we ever got sent to us was really interesting. Was I think I can do this. Boop. There it is. Okay. I went the wrong way. All right.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah. So this guy calls me up, and he's around a place called Detroit Lake in Oregon, which is in the Cascades, squatchiest place in the world, you know, on the base of the Mount Hood. And he calls me up, and he's hearing these whoops
and knocks
all around his camp in the middle of the night. And he calls me, and he holds his phone up and listen to this, you know, and I'm listening to the whoops over his phone live, and he's scared. I mean, he asked me, what can you come save me? You know, what do I do? You know, and I'm like, record everything and stay near the fire. You should be okay. You know, basically.
That is actually one of the best videos we have on our channel. Is called Bigfoot 911
call.
And so make sure you put a link to that.
Yeah. So
maybe I'll send it out in next week's email just for
so
fun.
When we went out, we have an investigator over in Portland, and I called her, and she went out and they found footprints, and near the footprints they found this what was it 69 inches long walking stick.
And that's a 5'9" walking stick.
Yeah, 5'9" walking stick that was next to where the footprints were, and they thought,
that's an awful big one.
That's awful big.
That's taller than me.
Yeah. So who has a walking stick that tall, you know? So do they use walking sticks and sticks? They beat on trees with them. We know that. And they, so I'm thinking they do. I think they can use walking sticks.
Blackbeard, I'll love you anyway.
What?
Said, hey, you scorchers.
Scorchers. Yeah. That's because we're in Washington. Okay. We're in the great state of Washington. Hey, Hannah grew up here, by the way. She grew up in Yakima, graduated from
Eisenhower
High.
I am a mighty Ike cadet. And I'm actually hoping to see some of my homies and some of my family members even from Yakima this weekend.
Okay.
Anyway, did you lose your train of thought?
No, Don says he uses I forgot we can show this. Don says, to be honest, he uses a tall walking stick. I do too. When I'm using walking sticks, I kind of graduated to trekking poles, but yeah, I used to use taller ones because you can reach down, like when you're going across creeks and stuff, you can feel ahead of yourself. But
this walking stick was right next to the tracks they found.
Yeah, it was literally next to the tracks they found.
And earlier Eric asked, would knocks be an indicator of using a tool?
Yes, would definitely be an indicator of using a tool. So next thing on the list is we have found these piles of rocks. Now, here's the deal with those. I'm not sure if it's not people, because rocks have been around for a while.
Don't look at the chat. You'll get distracted.
So there's these lovely piles of rocks that we find occasionally. And like I said, I can't really tell you if it's not people because I'm not sure. I have found some in some pretty out of the way places, but so the ones that we find like near trails and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's people. But this one here we found, which was a long ways from anywhere. We found this pile up by Lake Killimaque, and I'm going to be talking about that area a lot tonight because I've spent a lot of time up there, and we have been inundated with Bigfoot stuff
from that area
because it's 3 miles straight up to hike up there. And then we were hiking another 2 miles past where people don't go, up past the lake, up in the mountains.
Pyro asks, if they walked on, why would they have dropped it?
That's true.
Well, if they're like me at all.
Or maybe people, they were using it for tree knocking. Of course, It's kind of small for that. I've broken bigger sticks than that tree knocking.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Raptor says that he uses a walking stick when he's out and about 7 feet long. He uses like to vault things, and that's why you would want a bigger one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Uncle Bones is funny.
What did he say?
He says that dogmen stack those so they have a place to pee. So funny because I take Daisy for a walk and she will go out of her way to find a rock to pee on.
You know,
so funny.
That is not so far off. And I saw Dale in the chat, and Dale and I have found where coyotes will typically poop on top of a rock or a stump. We found some coyote poop in a stump up at Deduck Springs the other day.
Yeah, we did.
So,
and we found some when we went to Marble Creek, back to where you had your encounter.
Yeah, we did. So coyotes will typically do that. I don't know what it's for, the purpose of that.
Daisy will actually like vault up on her front legs and prop herself up with her back legs on a pile of rocks to pee on the rocks. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, weird.
It is.
Dogs are weird. So
Especially Daisy. She's just a nutball.
So we were talking about tree knocking, using tools.
Oh, they're back. They're oh, they were on
What?
the rocks.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Like Eric says, stone piles maybe could be markers for meeting points.
I think could be.
Pyro uses a big stick for the bigger bears.
And this is another thing that Renee just said. Squatch likes things in threes, which is very, very true. In fact, if I go back to that rock pile that we found, this one here was in, like I said, in the middle of nowhere, and it's 3 rocks.
Little OCD.
Do you count the rock it's sitting on? No. Anyway, it's 3 rocks piled up.
Are they a little OCD like vampires?
I think they are because, gosh, I forgot who it was. There's somebody I've been following on Facebook here recently who's been experimenting by putting rocks out, and they've been going out like once a week and taking pictures, and the rocks change and they move, but they're always in sets of 3s. They put out 4 rocks. It'll be 3 rocks and then 1 sit out to the side.
And what about that story? Was it the story of the poop pit?
We're gonna get that.
Oh, okay.
So that's the other.
I didn't know. I never know what he's going to talk about.
So, but and then there's the the tree knocks. Let's get back to our tree knocks.
Okay.
Tree knocks always are typically in sets of 3. Knock, knock, knock. So that's another thing that we have found. There's that. So tree knocks, that's definitely tool usage.
I think we just witnessed a brain fart from you.
I know. Having a Biden moment. No, anyway. No, there's a
oh Lord have mercy.
But no, we Hannah got into a big long whooping knocking conversation not too long ago. But those are rock clacks that we were getting up there at the nest site the other day.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a few months ago. Don wants to know, I think it's with the tree to the right of that rock pile. Was that cut? Go back to the rock pile.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's make it bigger for everybody. That's the biggest thing. The tree to the right was cut.
It cut. It does not look.
It's not. Both of them are broke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this, like I said, where we found this was 2 miles straight up a mountain, and places where people don't go.
Patty.
What?
Don't. Just don't.
Don't? What?
Just read it.
Okay. Oh, that's hilarious.
We need to knock that off.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's obviously that we're in agreement, but let's just move on.
So there's another thing here is these tree snaps. Now, I actually had a gentleman, Mike from Maine, who came up and went squatching with me here in Oregon. Gosh, that was 6 years ago, 7 years ago.
Oh, that was like 2015.
Yeah.
So we were living in the big house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was either 2015 or 2016. Either way, we're looking at 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah. So this is 6 or 7 years ago that we found these trees snapped off like this.
The peanut gallery is in full force.
Yes, they are. So there's that. And the dog's losing her crap behind us. So Daisy. Anyway, so we found this. This is really interesting. Now, I think, can trees be a tool? As markers, yes, just like the rock stacking. But here's the weirdest thing I've ever seen coming right up here. Look at this. These are 2 little pine trees that are tied together.
I think I'm going to interrupt you here in a minute because we need to go to a commercial. But earlier, I think it was it Donald? it was either Donald or David, I can't remember, but one of them said, maybe it was Eric. I'm going to say what they said, and then you can claim yourself in the comments. But said, if they have the foresight to stack the rocks, wouldn't that indicate that they could make tools? So I think you want to clarify at some point the difference between using
a tool,
natural, grabbing natural resources and actually making tool. You want to tell us what you mean by tool making. You don't have to do it now. But...
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay. Just keep that in the back of your head. Yeah. So, this is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Was two little pine trees, and they weren't more than probably, I would say, 2 feet out of the ground next to each other, and something had tied them
in a
knot.
Okay.
And I thought that was weird. So
Feather. Oh, hi, Feather Wilcher. She or he or it, or I don't know.
I need a Squatch knocker in my truck. I have one in my truck. Yes.
And that tree could have been broken from an ice storm. We've seen ice storms.
Yeah, that totally
trees.
could be too. In fact, our next one here, I'm going to show you.
Donald says, just mind if you found that rock stack, why wouldn't a person have been there before making that stack? It's possible.
That's possible, but like I said, we were in an area where people didn't generally go. It was off trail about 2.5 miles, straight up a mountain.
Yeah.
So we didn't go.
And Mr. Dunbar, you don't need a blue slip, but you might need something strong to drink. Who knows?
So there's that.
Yeah.
So here's one that is really interesting that I think.
William, you're funny.
We found this one here, this tree break. And it's twisted. What's really weird is it's twisted, but I'm pretty sure this was snow. Because this is an area where it gets a lot of snow. I mean, you can see the snow in the background. And this was like, gosh, April, May, and the snow had already melted a lot, but there was still, a good foot still on the ground.
The next picture's a little different.
But the next picture's a little different. Now, this one is near where people go because it's on a fence.
But who's going to do that?
I don't know.
Well, let's let them look at that. It is now 18 minutes in, which means only one thing, that my phone's going to keep going off until I check that text message. So everyone's just going to have to enjoy the little.
Yeah. So let's talk about what's coming up.
Okay.
One of the things it's really going to be fun is
this weekend. Saturday.
Weekend. Go ahead.
Okay.
This Saturday.
I mentioned, day after tomorrow, we are going to be at the first annual Yakima Valley Bigfoot Con in Toppenish, Washington at the Legends Casino Hotel. And this has been years putting together. I mean, they wanted to do it last year and they had it scheduled twice, and due to current events and all of the shenanigans surrounding all the current events, they could never actually pull it off, but they're pulling it off. And we are going to be there with the man himself, Bob Gimlin, and my besties, the She Squatchers. And there's a whole lineup of people.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's from 9 to 5 on Saturday. And it's just going to be so much fun.
There's a whole lot of, like I said, it's at the Legends Casino and Hotel in Toppenish, Washington, which is just south of Yakima a little bit.
Yep.
I did see the She Squatchers posted on their Facebook page. They landed in Seattle, so they're probably driving over the hill. I don't know why
coming over Snoqualmie, probably.
Yeah. So, and we drove over Cabbage today to drive from Baker to where we're at. So, so tomorrow night there's a VIP meet and greet thing. And we're going to have a birthday party for Bob Gimlin. That's going to be fun. We get to sing happy birthday to Bob Gimlin tomorrow.
Shall I sing him happy birthday, or I sing my happy birthday?
Your happy birthday. So we're going to, that's going to be fun. He just turned 91. So, and he's still going strong. That's awesome. And so, and plus it's, the casino's run by the
Yakama
tribe, and there's going to be a lot of Native American speakers and dancers, and they're doing a drum circle. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
I wonder if they're going to wear the Bigfoot masks when they dance.
oh, I hope
That
so.
would
I hope
be
they do.
awesome.
There is a Squatch dance actually.
Yeah, I know.
And the Yakama tribe call him the Whistler, actually.
Whistler.
Yeah. So there's
That
that.
would make sense based on what you've heard.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to the comments. Let's see what's going on while we've been gone.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So I don't know what they've brought to the conference. Maybe you need to hop on a plane, Don, and see for yourself.
So I'll tell you what, Don, we will videotape some stuff with them and show it next week. How's that sound?
Or the week after.
Or the week after. Yeah.
Oh, Raptor wants to know, will we do a video of Bob Gimlin and put it on our channel? Yes, probably.
Yes, probably.
We want to film it. Oh, we have to pop in and get your editing stuff taken care of.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was like just squirrel.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywho,
so
Donna says, I think they have instinctive tool abilities, but not cognitive tool knowledge. Ooh.
So one of the things that when I talk about them using tools but not making tools is the fact that, like, chimpanzees can use tools. They use straws to pick ants out of ant hills. They use sticks to hit each other with. They can pick up things and use them. They can stack rocks, but that's not making tools. Making tools is carving an arrowhead out of a rock, basically.
Sharpening a piece of slate into a hatchet.
Yeah, something like that. So that's the difference between making and using. At least in the anthropological world, that's what we call it. So
yeah.
So here's something that's really cool that was given to us. And this is kind of an interesting thing. Can they see that?
I can hardly see that.
Let's see. Can I do my laser pointer?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So this here is a piece of a tree. Now, this tree is about, I don't know, 6 inches around, maybe 4 or 5. Anyway, what had happened was this gentleman was up in a place called Irish Mountain. And what are you doing?
I just leave me alone and talk.
You're not on the right screen.
I know. I'm trying to get to the right screen. Just talk.
Okay. So anyway, this was up on a place called Irish Mountain, just in the Elkhorns behind Baker City, Oregon. And this gentleman had been up there for about 3 weeks. He was up prospecting, and this was 70s, I believe it was. And he had done some fishing in a little creek and had caught some fish and had them on a stringer in the creek. And he went back to his tent for something, and he came back and he saw a young Bigfoot with his stringer walking off into the woods. It took his fish. Then for the next couple days, this young Bigfoot kept coming back, probably looking for some more fish. And then one day he saw the younger Bigfoot down by the stream, and he had grabbed this tree and twisted it off and dropped it on the ground and walked into the woods, probably miffed because he didn't get any fish that day. So what the guy had the foresight to do was he took his little handsaw he had, and he cut off the tree underneath where the Bigfoot had his hand on it. So you can see where this is twisted at the top. So this is the top of it up here. I had to get my pointer back. There we go.
Sorry.
So this is the top of it up here. And when you look really close where he cut it off, you can see this is like the thumbprint, and that's one of the fingerprints that it literally smashed this log. And and you cannot get your hands around her. I tried, mine won't even come close. But he had cut this off, and he actually painted it with a varnish to preserve it, and had put it in a box in a storage unit since the late 70s. And he gave it to me probably about 8-9 years ago, and told me his story. It was really, really interesting. But this here, I actually gave this to Cliff Barrickman. So it's in Cliff's museum. So if you want to actually see this, you can go to the, what's it called? The
North American Bigfoot
Center in Boring, Oregon, and go to the museum there. And this is actually in the museum. So there's that. So the other weird thing we found, and Hannah and I found this one, and this is up in
straight from the set of the Blair Witch.
Yeah. So this one here,
dumbest movie ever. Anyway, moving on.
So this one here we found. Now this one wasn't too far off a trail where people were, but it was just weird. Where these tree limbs were stuck through a tree and then broken off.
Telling you, Blair Witch.
It's just weird, but we found this one. This was in the Wallowa Mountains outside of a little town called Cove in what's it? It's Moss Springs.
Moss Springs.
Yeah, you can, the Moss Spring Trail, you can hike into the Minam that way. And that one was just
not my favorite trail.
Yeah.
But it's there.
But it was just weird. I mean, who would do that or why?
Okay. It's just weird. I mean, like, I mean, I suppose you could, you know, take a power tool or an auger or something and create a hole like that in a tree and then stick a bunch of little limbs through the tree and then break them like that.
Oh, Tanya says, I live in Cove. That's where my cousins lived, in Cove.
Yeah.
I grew up
swimming pool.
Yeah, I grew up in Somerville.
Yeah.
So I've been to Cove swimming pool a lot when I was young. So that was kind of cool. So here's this next one is very interesting. And I've told the stories about this, but I don't think I ever put it in video or even let anybody see it. I might have, I don't remember. But my friend Pete and I were up squatching, and this is where we found that rock pile, by the way. Same area, same time. But we were back down at the lake area, and we had set up our tents, and we had spent the night, and the next morning we found this. It wasn't there the night before, but we had went out and did the tree knocking and stuff and got nothing. And so we went to bed probably about midnight or so, and this is what happened to us. I'm gonna make it full screen.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. I think it'll play if I just do that.
Yes, Renee.
Directly straight out of the ground. Just looking to see if there's any marks on it. This looks like it could be, but doesn't go all the way around. And then it's 8, 6, 9, 12 feet away, roughly, to this hole in the ground. So something pulled that tree straight up out of the ground and threw it 12 feet.
Now, to be clear, that was not there when you went to bed.
Nope, that was not there. You saw at the end there, you saw our tents. So there's that.
Yeah. And yes, Renee, you and Scott grew up in Somerville. Let's not forget that Renee grew up with you.
Yes.
And she's got stories. So don't piss her off. Okay?
I won't.
Eric says, okay, click on Eric's thing. Maybe they don't need tools since they're so big and strong. I mean, why use a fishing rod when you can just grab fish out of the rivers with that massive handspan, or just, steal fish off the line?
Yeah, that's exactly true. And who can pull a 6-inch round pine tree out of the ground and lay it between my tent in the middle of the night and not wake me up?
Guess what, Scott? I know what you said there because I'm
What?
studying French on Duolingo. I'm a Squatch, you're a Squatch, we're all Squatch. We are Squatches. Yes, Eric, I think that they did send a message, and it was get the hell out of our space.
Yep, I'm guessing so. But so that was one of the strangest Bigfoot things that's happened to me.
Uncle Bone says the needles are all brown. The tree was dead.
Yeah, it was. But it was still standing up when we went to bed. But the thing is, the root ball is 12 feet away from where it came out of the ground. That's the other thing that was very strange.
It wasn't just like falling over.
It didn't just fall over.
Patty says, I would have been like, time to go. Donald asks if you think that they were going to beat you up, but you got out of there.
But we woke up before. No, actually, we woke up in the morning and it was there. It wasn't there at midnight. So I don't know when it happened. We got up probably, I don't know, 6. I get up early in the woods, but it was probably about 6 in the morning. So somewhere in that 6-hour period, it happened.
Yeah. So Raptor, again, and this is the part of the story that gets missed a lot, is the root ball. Yeah, it does look like a small root ball, and it could have blown over or something. Yes, but the root ball was 12 feet away from the hole it came from. Mm-hmm. If it had just blown over, it would have been right. I mean, we've all seen tree falls.
Yeah, and it went between 2 other trees. Let me play that again and let you look at it again. Here, I want to make it big, and we'll do that. But
for directly straight out of the ground. I'm looking to see if there's any marks on it. This looks like it could be, but it doesn't go all the way around. And then it's 8, 6, 9, 12 feet away, roughly.
Yeah, I was pacing it.
So something pulled that tree straight up out of the ground and threw it 12 feet.
And I don't know if they threw it. I wonder if it was carried and laid down. I'm not sure. So there's that too. So I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Some weird stuff.
I mean, they could have beat me to death in my tent with that in the middle of the night.
That would have been some tool usage.
That would have been some tool usage. Yeah. Or if it was just like a, hey,
get out.
Get out. That's what I kind of took it as.
Yeah, Tanya, I think you're right. It wanted you to know. I mean, I think it wanted them to, she says, maybe it wanted you to know it pulled the bad tree out. I'm confident if it wanted to hurt you, it could have.
Yeah.
They were just bringing you firewood.
They were bringing me firewood.
Love him so much. Yeah.
Yeah, Lockbeard. Oh, I clicked it off.
Because they don't have fire making skills, right?
Yeah, I don't think they do. I don't think they use it. They have no need for it.
They just eat their food raw. They've got that amazing intestinal system.
We are getting to that shortly. That's the other weird thing that happened to us. So have we found trees? We're still on the tree stuff, but we found this where this tree was twisted and broken over, and then it was made into this nest looking thing. We found this one here was up in...
Is that up by that power?
Is that by past Keating up in what's that area?
Troy?
Troy, Oregon, or somewhere near Troy.
No, not Troy. It was that place.
Yeah.
That
So
anyway.
about 100 years ago, they made a movie with Clint Eastwood in Baker City, Oregon, called Paint Your Wagon.
There's the other dumbest movie ever made.
Yeah, it was a musical with Clint Eastwood. So anyway, a cowboy musical. But anyway,
It was so dumb.
they shot this movie at this site. They built this whole town, and this here was actually, of course, this is probably, I don't know, 50 years, 60 years later, but this was in that area, probably 3 or 4 miles north of where the movie site was. Cornucopia. There we go.
Cornucopia.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm having a moment here.
So there's that. And then, of course, we've got this nest that we found
in Unity
just a few weeks ago. That was really, really super interesting. And as you can see, we've did a whole video on this one. And then, of course, our good friends were talking about tool usage. They built a shelter. That's kind of using tool, or not, that's using tools, not making tools, but by breaking tree limbs and weaving them together to make this nest. And of course, we had our good friend Shane on the show before, and these are the nests that he's found over in the Olympic area.
Look how, now just go back, look how different these nests are from what we
from what
Lenny found.
So my theory is that this nest is a crib for a child that they put in, because the opening's towards the top. You got to reach down in it. I think these nests are just for sleeping and laying in, a place to rest. Now these are all these were made with huckleberry brush that it pulled out of the ground and woven together to make these nests. If you want to know more about these, there's been a few videos. You can look up the Olympic project and nests. And actually, they took one of these nests and moved it to Cliff's Museum also. So if you want to see one of these nests, they actually have one in the...
We'll be going to Cliff's Museum, I think, in February.
Yep. Okay, so also, here we go. Speaking of cornucopia, we found this in cornucopia. I don't know if you can see it really well, but this is a tree. This is a stump that's not part of this tree. This is stabbed in the ground next to this tree, and it's upside down. It's not right side up. The tiny end stabbed in the ground next to this stump. And this is over 8 feet tall. And we think it was tore off in one of these. It was broken off one of these down trees over here, and then stabbed in the ground upside down right here.
Do you think Bigfoot observes Festivus and demonstrates feats of strength?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I knew it. So
feats of strength. I mean, come on. Bigfoot Winter Games. I love it. Yeah.
So this is not a new phenomenon. I mean, this is a big thing actually in Alaska. They found lots of these trees turned upside down and stabbed in the ground. This one isn't the root ball up in the air. It was broken off of it, so there's no root ball on it, but it was a broken, and it's 8 inches around. So it snapped off some of these trees on the ground and stabbed in the ground upside down. So this is up near a place called Halfway, Oregon. Kind of between Halfway and Cornucopia. But that was found 6 years ago, I think.
Yes.
I think.
What about loggers that do that with their equipment? I don't understand that.
That could have been, but this area isn't logged. I mean, these trees are like winterfall, I think. But if this area was logged, it was a long time ago, because you can see the new growth. Like over. My pointer's not working. There we go. You can see like this here. These are, younger trees, but Um, like I said, this area had
they don't log that area.
They haven't been logged in a long time, so I don't know. That could have been,
Yeah,
but
not saying it's a Squatch. It just it's weird stuff out there.
Weird stuff that we find. So we're gonna
make another
announcement real quick, and then we're gonna move on to the coolest thing that ever happened to us. So here we go.
I don't know if I go that far.
So if you happen to be in the Eastern Oregon area around Pendleton.
Hey, you forgot something.
What?
Do we have a poster for Monday night?
No, I didn't do one.
Shame on you. All right, real quickly. Monday night. And I know, Renee, you already said you can come. We will be in Pendleton, Oregon on Monday night, October 24th. We will be on our way back from the Bigfoot Con in Yakima. But at 6 o'clock, Rooster's Country Kitchen in Pendleton, we're going to meet with the Blue Mountain, Northeastern Oregon Bigfoot people. One, to share all things Bigfoot in the Blue Mountains, and two, to memorialize Mike J.
Yeah.
Who recently passed
away.
Another amazing Bigfooter.
Yeah.
Pretty significant in the Blue Mountain area.
Yeah. He's been was a Bigfooter for a long time. Mike was a good friend, and we've known him for 6 or 7 years. And he was actually mentioned in John Green's book, The Squatch Among Us, I think it's called. And so, yeah, he was actually mentioned in that book by John Green, but
cancer took him really fast.
So he just recently passed away. And Northeast Blue Mountain Bigfoot was his group that he started, and they're still going strong. And we're going to have dinner with them Monday night,
6 o'clock.
Rooster's Country Kitchen in Pendleton, Oregon.
Yes. Okay. Now you can show your poster.
So now I can show my poster. Yes. So on November 12th at the Alpine Outpost in Tollgate, Oregon, which is in the Blue Mountains also, but this is up.
That's where we're stuck for the winter, so we may as well, right?
Yeah. So we are going to be doing a one-day thing. It's from 10 to like 4. Because we want to give people time to drive off the mountain. But this is up near. I say near, but close to where Deduck Springs was, nearish to the Freeman area. We're going to be talking about Paul Freeman and all his stuff, and I actually have permission from his son Michael to show you the enhanced version of his video before the book comes out at this event. So, and I think Dara Annington's going to be there. She was a researcher back in the day with Paul Freeman. So she's going to be there also with us, and I'm going to try to get it. She doesn't do public speaking, but she'll be there, so you can maybe ask her questions.
Anyway, the event is free. You can come up and enjoy yourself. Bring money to buy our stuff. We'll have t-shirts and stuff. And they're going to have like a barbecue burger lunch. So you'll want to bring money for that.
Okay. And yeah, the Alpine Outpost up there, their
food is phenomenal.
So there's that. All right. I think we got that out of the way.
I should put in my gluten-free order before we go.
So.
All right. Let's see what some of these say. Raptor says loggers would turn trees upside down to find a location for them where they were and what they had to cut and where to cut.
Okay.
Again, great theory for a logged area. Dale says, I'm going to go up where you and I saw those stack of trees when we were hunting.
Oh, yeah. That's something I don't know if I ever got pictures of that. If I did, I don't know what I did with them.
Probably on your old drive.
Probably on my old drive that crashed.
Dang it. Anyway,
Tanya,
yes, up by Jubilee Lake. You go if you're coming from Cove, you go through Somerville and then
we go through Elgin and head towards Weston. Yeah.
Yeah, head towards Weston. You go past the cutoff to Jubilee Lake. It's about a mile past that.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't turn and go towards Jubilee Lake. Go past there and go to
you can't miss it.
You can't miss it. Yeah.
It's on the right.
Yeah, it's the Tollgate store. That's what that was always called before.
Yeah.
So yeah, head up there. So here we go, folks. we got 33 people in here. We're about to show you the weirdest thing, one of the weirdest things, other than that tree being left there, that's ever happened to us. Oh yeah, I forgot. I wanted to talk about Dale.
Dale, take
Suspense.
those pictures and send them. Absolutely.
Yes. Message me the pictures, dude. Yeah. So we found a bunch of tree tops. We didn't know where they came from, just the tops of trees. And they were laid out in a circle with pointing to each other, kind of like a
TB?
I don't know, but they were laying on the ground. They weren't standing up.
Oh.
They were just flat, left in a circle, which was kind of weird. Okay.
Weird stuff
Weird.
out there.
Bigfoots are weird. And I know this is something Cliff said, says a lot too. He says Bigfoots are weird. But so here's something that happened to us. This was in the Bitterroot Mountains in Montana.
My gosh.
We were squatching.
With our last dog.
Yes, we were hiking. And this was not in the trail when we went in, but it was in the trail when we came out. So this is on a hiking trail, and we were the only ones who walked in and out that day, because we walked into the top of the mountain, turned around, came back out, and we never saw anybody on the way in. We never saw anybody on the way out. So it was just us that day.
Yeah.
And
thanks for the reminder, Uncle. Hit the like button.
yes.
If you're watching, just hit the like button.
Yeah. So if you can't see really well, you can't see at all because I didn't even show you.
There we go.
There we go.
This is in the Bitterroot Mountains.
This is in the Bitterroot Mountains in the Rockies in Montana. I know what am I looking at? But if you look right here, you see this right here.
This is where we discovered that Bodie was not a squatching dog.
Yeah. This is where my Rottweiler shied away from this.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. I'm going to move it a little closer here. This is the hind quarter or the hind leg of a deer. Not cut off, ripped off, and left in the trail. It wasn't there on the way up, but it was there on the way back. And there was something kind of creepy while we were hiking up. Remember, we kept hearing stuff just over the ridge from us, kind of, and I thought probably a bear, because a bear will do that. They'll kind of, what's it called, ghosting you, or there's another word for it in my head. They're pacing you.
Yeah.
When we were hiking. So anyway, that was one of the weirdest things, that this was left in the trail for us to find on the way back. And it's laying directly in the trail, and it wasn't there when we went up.
And
but
it was freaking fresh.
Paralleling, that's it.
Parallel.
Or shadowing, that's another one. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fresh. I mean, it was like fresh. It wasn't...
you can see it's still bloody. And I have no idea.
Yeah, the dog was not happy.
The dog would not go near it.
Yeah. Oh, and well, the dog goes. And we knew she wasn't a squatcher dog because she hiked in about half a mile and said, "I'm so done with all this." She hated hiking. She was a couch dog.
Yeah. Couch Rottweiler.
Yeah. Daisy, on the other hand, owns the woods.
Yeah. So
anyway.
So if anybody can explain this one,
it creeped us out.
It creeped us out. And another thing, I looked really close at it, and there was no bite marks and stuff.
Yeah, no bite marks, no, yeah. And are there mountain lions in that part of the Bitterroots?
What?
Are there mountain lions?
Yeah, there are.
Okay.
Yeah, so it might have been a cat, but I don't know why it would leave it in directly, and you can see it's directly in the trail.
Yeah, it was in the people trail.
Yeah, Don says any predator could be responsible. That's very true. To rip that off. But
it's the timing was so weird.
Yeah, it was just the timing was weird. Why would
I like that we were gifted.
We were gifted. Yeah. David Lester says we were gifted. They left us a gift.
Too bad we didn't have Nutella to leave there.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's move on because we are 10 minutes out.
Okay, so the next weirdest thing that I think happened to us And I should have just named this thing the weird stuff that happened to us. But
You always have to start out so intellectual.
yeah, I'm not that. Was this right here is very interesting. Now this was interesting, and it was brought to us by loggers, and we get a lot of Bigfoot stories from loggers, because they have things like they'll come into their camp after the weekend, and the oil barrels will be thrown all around and stuff. That's happened several times, several different logging things over the years too. I mean, that's a common thing, but this one here was weird, very weird. So,
oh, this is the poop pit.
This is the poop pit.
Woo! I love talking about poop.
So this logging company up there, they took a backhoe, took a little scoop out of the ground, and
made it a poop pit.
Made it a poop pit. So you and they would take their toilet paper and set it on that rock, and they would poop down in the hole
and throw the paper in.
And
then when they left, they would bury it.
Yeah. So that's a pretty common thing for logging camps to do. So this was a long story, and this gentleman, in fact, I think we did a video on it, but
a while back.
It was a while back, but
yeah, but ooh, I've got all sorts of the best of Squatch America.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put a playlist together.
So, but anyway, this one here, the guy was left there. It was the youngest guy on the crew. He was left there to guard the camp over the weekend until the guys got back Monday. He was in his tent. It started raining really hard. Now, if I'm trying to recall, this is like 7 years ago, I think, that I interviewed this guy. But anyway, he it was raining really hard. His tent was leaking, so he was miserable up in the woods. So he went and got into his car where it was dry, and was just going to sleep in his car for the night. And the lightning was flashing, and he saw this huge figure in front of his car in some of the lightning flashes. I mean, it sounds like a movie, right? So he kind of freaked him out. He started his car up, and he drove out of the mountains, and I'm trying to remember. He was in, what's the town this side of John Day? That little town.
Oh,
Prairie City?
Prairie City.
Yes, he drove into the Prairie City where his boss lived. It took him like 45 minutes driving out of the mountains in the middle of the night in a rainstorm. Gets to Prairie City in the morning, knocks on his boss's door, and the boss invited him in and said, "What's going on? You're supposed to be up at the camp." And he relayed this story to him, and the boss said, "Don't say anything to anybody. This stuff happens all the time. Go back up there."
Now, you haven't actually told the story of what happened.
Oh, I'm getting there. So
and Don wants to know if he sees a print with toes next to the 4x4 on the right. So is there a print there?
Oh, it could be. Oh, I never even looked at that. Good catch. It could be.
It's kind of hard. We've got lighting and shadows and all that.
But anyway, so this is a picture the guy took and gave it to me. But
so now get to the good part.
Here's the good part. He gets back to the camp, and the next morning, well, it was about probably 11 or so, he gets back there on a Sunday. The crew hasn't came back yet. He finds the poop pit. He goes to use the poop pit, and he finds all the toilet paper picked out of the poop pit, stacked up on the rock neatly, and the poop was gone.
Let your imaginations wander with that.
Yes, let your imagination wander. Like, but
if your stomach is turning, you're not alone.
So this is the weird thing. Did Bigfoot eat the poop and leave the toilet paper outside? I don't know anything that would have stacked up the toilet paper nice and neat, and the poop was gone.
You know it, Tanya. You know it.
So there's
But
that.
there are mammals there are plenty of mammals who enjoy things a second time around from other critters. So there you are.
So there's that.
Okay.
Poop. Yeah. I know dogs eat poop, cats eat poop, monkeys eat poop. I know gorillas will eat their own poop.
Poor Renee. Not anymore, you're not. Rapture, they don't stack the toilet paper though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The toilet paper was neatly stacked on the rock next to the poop pit.
Yeah, the used toilet paper.
The used toilet paper
was picked out of the hole and left on the rock. That was the weird part. Like I said, this is weird stuff that we can't explain.
Okay, we are 4 minutes out.
Okay, so we got one more.
One more.
Here we go.
You actually gonna play this?
Yep.
Oh Lord.
Scott and I were just walking down this road. Right? Yep, going this way, going back towards the sighting.
I look dumpy.
And out of nowhere, this stick right here hits me on the thigh.
Oh, hold on. Let's do that again.
Oh, geez. Oh, I didn't edit it. Oh.
Blooper reels.
Blooper reels.
So, Scott and I were just walking down this road. We're just still back there showing you where he got the baby Bigfoot print. Walking down this road back towards where he had a sighting, and out of nowhere, this stick, this specific stick right here, whacks me on the top of the thigh. Now, Scott was in front of me. How could he kick a stick from over there up far enough to hit me on my thigh right here? Weird. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to say weird.
So there's that. So.
Because I'm not Bobo. I'm not going to say it.
Not everything's a Squatch. Yeah, but that stick came out of nowhere from up the hill. In fact, here's the actual culprit. We kept it just for evidence. But anyway, that was the place where we had, where I had my sighting. We had went back to do a video about 4 years later after my sighting. And, we had just shot some stuff and we were walking back and we had actually found a footprint, what we thought was a footprint, right where I saw my sighting, but it was.
If you haven't watched that, it's hilarious.
It's
the biggest casting fail ever.
Yeah. And yeah, I tried to cast it, but it was on a hill, like straight up and down.
Oh, and then there was the
we didn't have enough water for the. Yeah, it was bad.
It was so bad.
But I got pictures and we measured everything and got some detailed pictures and stuff.
Anyway,
so that we were walking back out and this stick just hits her in the leg. Now, it could have been a squirrel.
Squirrels are jackasses.
Yeah, maybe. But
it's just a peanut gallery, honey.
Yeah, I know. It says, Papa, see you throwing stuff again. Yeah. So there's that.
By the way, Papa, that was the whole slide rule thing. That was at the beginning of the show. So I don't think Squatches are into using slide rules.
No.
I can't even use a slide rule.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, and I like Pyromedic said they use the toilet paper like tamale wrappers. That's funny.
It's funny.
Yeah. Oh, Scott Dunbar said, "Bitch." That could have been. Oh, we got it right here.
Yeah. By the way, yes, Dale, I do look like a Maina. And I'm still watching Maine real estate videos.
So
I
there's
can't
that.
help it. And I found a house. I found about 16 houses there I want.
Yeah.
Anyway, guess what? We're at the top of the hour.
We are. Oh my gosh. So we thank you guys for being in here. In fact, we've got like probably the biggest audience we've had.
35 at the most. So if you have
It's awesome.
not clicked the thumbs up button, please click the thumbs up.
The
Click
words.
the buttons, like it, share it. We're actually starting to share these videos over and over and again. And actually it does help. So just share the video. And yes, if you have 10 grandkids, get them to subscribe.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah, that's awesome.
If you have more than one YouTube account, I know I have like 4 YouTube accounts, and just like it with all your YouTube accounts.
Yeah.
Watch it on every YouTube account. Just have them playing, side by side. Anyway, that'll be fun.
So there's that. Oh, look, I forgot I had this.
There's the picture.
There's my picture of my sighting.
Okay.
That's the dude looking at me.
Anyway,
this was in that place.
It is time to say goodbye.
It
So,
is.
as always, please remember that would you get to our stuff?
Oh, that's why you're talking slow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She's gonna go, where is it? Our job is to investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain and investigate.
So we will see you next week. You keep watching and
we'll keep squatching.
Bye-bye.
Hey, come see us in Yakima.
Yeah, come see us in Yakima. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, I got to find that too.